Welcome to the very first session of Mobile Suit Gundam Fleeting Liberty. This is a post-apocalyptic world, a post-war Earth. 25 years into the after-impact calendar. The planet's sea levels have risen astronomically since the final impact, an act of war that saw the space Zoids drop several colonies all over Earth. Survivors have since begun to rebuild society from the remnants of the old world, forming several salvage factions, or Steelcatchers, as you might say, for protection and survival. We begin in Isla Acero, an artificial island floating between the Philippines and Japan, or what used to be Philippines and Japan, as 80% of the Philippines has been submerged. It is made from the remnants of its fallen namesake colony, Colony Acero, with its internal soil that have been forced out from the impact and hardened from the flash heat when it crash landed on Earth. It melded with the metal, forming this oddly enough arable land, and it's good enough for things to build on. In the 25 years since the final impact, people have sailed to the metallic landmass and used the colony's parts to build a home here. However, in those 25 years, the entire colony has yet to be fully mapped out. Nobody has ever reached the top, even with mobile suits. The entire colony, the people here rather, they slowly try to climb the massive structure, and they're slowly making some headway, using salvage mobile suits and mobile armors that they may have procured from outside of Isla Acero or within the colony itself, whatever survived the crash. Because these colonies, these space colonies, are very, very sturdy. In the meantime, the island's denizens have formed their own small communities centered around the fallen colony, with metal framed houses held together by the tough steel cabling that they've cannibalized from the colony itself. They also managed to salvage a good amount of the technology, actually, because of how well intact the colony is. They've managed to make a lot of the old things run serviceable. They function, and they made life in Isla Acero much easier, much more comfortable.
Like lights in the evening.
Yeah.
Do we have toilets?
Yeah, there's some plumbing here. That one had to be made. But they cannibalized. Yeah, but they cannibalized the toilets from the colony for sure.
That's all I have to know.
Space toilets are very sturdy, man. So each island, the streets of this island is a mix, really, of earth surrounded by metal.
Okay.
There are small pockets of steam rising out from the underground facilities because they extrude from the buried portions of the colony, and they've managed to make those underground machinery to start running again, to generate power. Hence they managed to harness the ocean, the seas, to generate power for themselves, generate some steam energy. So sometimes, every now and then, if you're walking around the island, steam would pop out. It's not harmful. Some people trip every now and then from it, but
like sudden spurts.
Some the kids even like to predict where it is, and they wash themselves from it.
But so it's not like
it's warm.
It's not steam.
It's warm water.
But it's not scalding.
It's not scalding. Yeah.
Okay.
It's comfy.
Oh, okay. What's the weather like after the?
Actually, the weather has been different. The seasons have changed. In fact,
Okay.
it's cold. It's cold. It's coldest in June, and it's warmest in January. The climate has changed dramatically, and some schools of thought theorize that because of the final impact,
Yeah.
the Earth's tilt has changed by a few degrees.
Okay.
So the weather patterns, the seasons have become different all across the world.
Yeah.
So you might, and they surmise that it wasn't just the crash that submerged the Earth. It was the sudden it was the sudden drastic change in weather patterns that melted the polar caps. In fact, it's likely that the caps have changed at this point because of the tilt. If you imagine,
Yeah.
if the Earth tilted a bit, the caps would shift as well.
Yeah, magnetic fields all around.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. That's just my.
Neither do you shouldn't quote me either.
But
We're not scientists.
I encourage you listeners to look it up,
Maybe make a theory.
make a theory out of it.
I don't know.
So, you are currently in the Artesia sector. It's one of the more not all sectors of Isla Acero have all amenities. Sometimes you have to go to a different sector just to get something. But Artesia sector is very popular for the tech that they've managed to salvage and repair or even develop.
It's post-apocalyptic Akihabara.
Kind of, yeah. And we start with you, Mai. You are walking along a cliffside of
Okay.
Artesia sector, overlooking the erect structure that is the colony, Usmerk.
Okay.
And you spot that it's quite a strange sight to behold, given how much history such a colony has, and yet so much of it is hidden from you. You have over the course of 2 years, or over the course of a few years, or actually it was 5 years ago that you were introduced to your current lifestyle.
Okay.
When a man drifted in from outside Isla Acero. You were
Okay.
born here, in fact.
Oh.
You've never been outside of the island.
Okay.
But you know of, just based on some of the vids, some of the pre-war vids that you may have seen, and you find an individual. He's calling your name as he's just running up the uphill incline. You spot a man. He's drifted here 5 years ago and has lived with the islanders for that amount of time. He's made a name for himself as one of the few competent mobile suit pilots.
Okay. 5 years ago.
Yeah, because he drifted here.
Right.
He drifted here in his own mobile suit. And over the course of those 5 years, he's reinforced that thing into something a little more battle-ready, more serviceable. In fact, he's protected the island several times from wandering raiders.
Okay.
And it's from this guy that taught you the exciting life that is
Steelcatcher.
Steelcatcher.
Okay.
He lent you his mobile suit once in order to ascend the easy floors of the Acero.
Okay.
It was very exciting, and you took to it very well. And he calls up. He's running towards you, waving his hand. He's wearing his old uniform, one of his
Okay.
favorite things to wear. It's an old brown polo shirt. He's folded it up to his elbows,
Okay.
and with some black linings every now and then military cargo pants. He says,
Okay.
"Hey, Mai, you gonna climb
Yeah.
today?" And you see him as he's got long hair now. He used to have much shorter hair, and he's got very kind-looking brown eyes. He looks like this.
Okay. 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 Did you try today?
I was actually hoping you'd come with me today. See, don't tell your dad, but he leans over. He takes out a small media device. It's a small laptop. It's there's a few dinges and dents in there. Definitely salvaged. He starts typing in a few things. Look at this. He points to, and it shows a map of Acero.
Okay.
And it points to a specific spot, somewhere in the center of, somewhere near the center, or above the middle parts of the structure.
Okay.
See, and you know that this part has yet to be explored.
The middle.
Yeah, just above the middle.
Okay.
You see here.
What am I looking at?
You see, like, it's basically like a wireframe map.
Right.
And there's this blinking thing here. It's very almost imperceptible.
Okay.
And he says, "Those are signs of energy usage."
Has that always been there?
No. Oh, actually, I don't know. But we've been. The more we climb, the more we learn about the Acero.
Okay.
And if you look at this part here, something's using its energy. That means something's working up there. It's something we can salvage.
Oh.
But don't tell your dad, because it's unmapped territory, and he gets antsy when you get to,
Okay.
But I mean.
But if it were the two of us, it would be a lot safer, right?
Yeah. I mean, what are we gonna face up there, right? I mean.
What's the worst we faced up there?
The worst we face really is just falling debris.
Oh, because of all the
Unstable structures, yeah.
Okay.
And the fact that, mobile suits are about 50-foot
Structures.
giants,
Right.
giant vehicles. A lot of the times, if you're not careful, you'll bump into something and something will just crash upon you.
Okay.
And some automated security, like some turrets every now and then, but nothing that can really damage Luna titanium armor of your Gundam, because his doesn't have that kind of. And he just says, news from the mech heads, news from the gearheads is that you've recently completed a major upgrade for your Stargazer.
If you wanted to look at it, I wouldn't have mind. Did? Wouldn't have mind did.
Well, I'm just saying that.
But if you want to see it in action, I don't blame you. It's pretty cool.
That actually, that's really the reason why I wanted to come up to you, because it's climb, man. Who knows what's there?
It's also true.
And you note that, and this guy. His name is Lllostri.
Right.
He was never a Steelcatcher in the beginning, but when he was invited by the salvage teams,
He took to it.
he took to it really well. He hasn't. To him, it's a freeing thing. Like delving into adventure on your own, living by the skin of your own teeth, by your own ability.
Okay.
Nobody giving him any orders or stuff like that.
Okay. Have we usually, I suppose we usually go up on our own, so we don't actually usually go together.
Yeah, the ones with more sophisticated mobile suits, the ones with Gundam frames, like your father Tem was lucky enough to salvage a Gundam frame, and he didn't really want to give it to you.
I can imagine.
And if anything, he's never really officially given it to you. He just says, use it when you're climbing up, but it's not technically yours. But really, you're the only one that's been using it over the past three odd years or so.
I use it better, so.
And your mom is a little more quiet concern, but she also notes that you should peak in your 30s. Like you should. She's basically just assisting you as well as she can. with the software that she tinkers with in the Stargazer. And really, in the entirety of the island, the Stargazer is the most sophisticated mobile suit here.
I mean, there's gotta be more to just, being around here. So, there's something up there.
Right.
Yeah. But okay. It's gonna be unstable the higher we get up there, right?
For sure. I mean, that's a lot of weight that doesn't have a lot of that has a lot of gravity pulling down on it,
They have a
and
plan?
doesn't have a lot of support.
Because I don't think the two of us going up there at the same time is gonna be all that good for it.
I got just the thing. So he ushers you down the hill. The hill is actually asphalt with kicked into the earth. Definitely something that fell out of the colony when it crashed.
So it was a road that embedded into soil?
Yeah, essentially. There's just so much flash heating and impact phenomenon. It's very bumpy for sure. And he calls you down, and he has a small jeep, something he's rejiggered himself, and something he very passionately collects energy for just to keep it running. But it's a rusty mess that when he turns it on,
It's gotta be better than most anything around here.
people use bikes, like bicycles.
It's okay. A man of principle.
Sorry, 1 second.
It's okay. Is Roy around? Or did I leave him at home?
You might have left him at home.
Okay. Yeah.
Roy would have had. Roy was actually a discovery, partially a discovery. Roy was definitely something you created, but the starting parts of it was already found from the colony. Basically, you found this wolf-like mobile suit, and instead of a pilot inside, there was this AI computer in the shape of a small, not small, the canine shape, skeletal frame. But you just basically built upon that. But the entire brains of it was nothing. So you had to work with your mom to give it a soul over the years.
Okay. So the only thing intact was the shell.
Yeah, just the shell. Or the bones, just frame.
Alright. So any personality Roy has is just developed by me and my mom.
Yeah.
Are there any actable domesticated animals?
There are a few. I mean, there are some farms here, like animal husbandry places. Not in this sector, but
Not necessarily, not livestock like pets.
Pets. There are a few pets. People do domesticate some dogs here.
Okay.
The cats are fucking everywhere.
Right. So there are a lot of feral cats.
Also, literally, they are fucking everywhere.
As they do.
Like if you're walking down the street and there's like an awning of metal frame, there is a cat. There are usually 1 or 2 cats there.
There's a cat map. They are the true rulers of Arcea. Okay.
And or sometimes in the middle of an alleyway, you'd hear the mewling of kittens as they're being played with by the children, and
Wow, I hope nobody eats them. Okay.
yeah. So he's like, okay, yeah.
Do you want me to look? Do you want me to?
Please.
look
Now,
under
if you
them.
look here, your skills are a little different. Mine.
Astrophysics.
You have astrophysics, which is the study of outer space phenomenon. You are not proficient in that, but there is machinery somewhere here.
No, there isn't.
Machinery.
There. It's under.
You are proficient in that. Machinery is basically
Intelligence.
it's wisdom.
Oh.
Basically, the physical machinery, you're trying to listen into how well optimized it is, or checking whether something's wrong there. That's not a sound that things
It
should be doing.
making.
Yeah.
Alright.
There's also technology somewhere down here.
Right. I see it.
That's general technology, wherein both software and hardware. If you're trying to design something, or you're trying to identify something's design or how something works, that's abstract essentially. That's intelligence.
Astrophysics is intelligence.
Yes.
And machinery is wisdom.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would like you, first roll of the day, first roll of the fucking campaign, make a machinery check for me.
Okay. So that's a +3 and my wisdom is a 14.
Because we change your stats, remember?
Right.
So your wisdom
right.
is a +2. It's a +2 proficiency, therefore it's a +4 now.
So machinery is a +4.
Yes. Your
That rolled
Hey!
a long time.
your technology
Good
checks, you would be a +6.
Shit.
Because you have fucking 18 at start. That's awesome. So you pop open the hood of the Jeep and you see that. Okay. You see that when he tries like, okay, move away. I'm gonna try and rev it up. And you see that as the engine begins to spin, you note that something is stuck in there. Like when something spins.
Jamming?
Something's jamming something that's preventing it from spinning faster. Like it resets the cycle such that it's not spinning fast enough for it to actually run.
All right. You got a little something in here. You got to stop it. Stop it. Let me see if I can. I'll see if I can spot and maybe pull it out.
You can go ahead and make either a sleight of hand check or a thieves tools check with dexterity. You are proficient in thieves tools. You're proficient in a lot of tools. You are a prodigy.
I work well with my hands. Okay,
So-
I would like to use my thieves tool, so that would be
You +4.
proficiency. +4 total.
Because I'm asking for dexterity thieves tools.
All right.
13.
Not bad.
So, oh, by the way, don't forget, you don't know you're a new type. You don't even know what a new type is. Or maybe you've heard of it in passing.
Rumors.
But don't forget that you have some racial abilities here, where your persuasion and intimidation adds a +d4. Same with your insight, adds a d4 to it.
All my charisma stuff, persuasion, intimidation.
Well, not performance and deception. Yeah.
All right.
And this levels the race that I designed. As you level up, it grows. So like at level 5, it's like a d6 or something.
Got it.
Yeah. But for now, it's a d4.
That's okay.
So you take out these small tweezers from your thieves tools because you have to unlock a lot of stuff in the colony. Because when you disembark from your Gundam, you have a lot of these things are still locked or forcefully locked from the final impact. So you have to you actually had to trade to unlock things. So you may have had some illicit activity with it.
Not that my parents know.
As far as you know. So you take two tweezers.
I'm a smart girl.
You take a tweezer and it's a long tweezer too. Like, you put it in the slit and you just you pull it out. It's a screw. And
Hey, you have a screws.
oh. Okay, you can have it.
What's a screw?
I mean, screws here are it's kind of like commodity.
All right, because these things aren't produced anymore.
But credits are still traded. Like, for some reason, people still put value in credits, which is money.
Right.
So people still trade in money for some.
I guess it's like borrowed value. If you
Yeah.
have enough money, you can trade that around, like a favor.
Yeah, but just for your benefit as a player, 1 credit is equal to 1 copper. 10 credits is 1 silver. 100 credits is 1 gold.
Oh, okay.
You have 2,500 credits in your inventory.
Oh, okay. The screw's looking pretty okay.
Make a machinery check.
Okay. Machinery. That caught? No, it's okay. It's just an 8.
I mean, it's as functional as screws can be.
Yeah.
Granted, you just think that. Granted, it did come loose, but it could just be where it was screwed on rather than the screw itself.
Okay. Like if I were to look inside, I'll speak in like, normally kind of sign your skivers, but I guess it did maybe come from inside your bike, and I don't want it to die while we're on our way back. So okay, here.
You're the best.
I know.
Puts it in its spot. So hop on in.
Okay. Just want a quick look again, just to make sure that nothing else is in there. And then I'll fold up my tools and then hop on.
It's electric, so there's not. No, but there's no smoke.
Oh, okay.
There's or very minimal.
Right, I can imagine where to get fossil fuel on this thing.
So he drives on. It's kind of slow, actually. It's pretty slow. But you don't know. You don't really have a point of comparison. You were a baby when the final impact happened.
Okay.
So it's a bumpy ride. It says, he drives off into town. This town of rusted steel. Rusted steel, and it's a mishmash of blues and browns and silvers. As you come upon a lot of facilities that have massive cloth or leather canvases that are draped over them, just so that they can have some modicum of shelter. A lot of the steel frames have dents and bends on them, but they make it functional. They make it work. Some have signs on them. I mean, people aren't illiterate, so they actually have signage, but in different languages. Some in German, some in
Japanese?
Nihongo, yeah. Some in Mandarin, mostly Mandarin, and in English, yes.
Okay.
It's mostly junk shops. People here have a lot of junk shops.
Naturally.
Yeah, and that's really how they get credits.
Right. Salvaging,
Salvaging. And people have their own set of expertise. Your father specifically is someone who deals with engineering equipment like generators or forklifts and cranes and stuff. Nobody knows that he's a mobile suit engineer except for Sho.
And me.
And you.
So nobody would approach you for that.
Yeah.
Unless somebody knows.
Yeah. But as far as people know, you just found a really good Gundam in good condition.
Nobody know. It would not be good for people to know, right? Otherwise, they want.
Yeah, I mean, people in Artesia sector generally respect each other. I mean, it's a very small community. Even across the sector, you will probably know people from other sectors. It's just that sometimes greed gets around.
Better not to.
Yeah. And sometimes people know someone from outside of the island, and that can be bad because it invites raiders.
Okay. Alright. What time of day is it?
It's a bright and sunny morning. You've actually just finished getting fish for the family.
Oh.
Yeah, you might have a basket of fish on you.
Okay. So, are you going to stop by my house? Because I don't want these to rot.
Quick stopover first. Let's look at this thing, and I think you'll be pretty happy. So
okay.
He comes into his.
Smell like fish though.
Actually, there's a lot of smell of iron here. It's not, but it's to you. It's what it is.
Yeah, might
but,
as well be soil.
Yeah, but people like your father, your mother, they know what it was like before the smell of iron all over. But to you, that's just how it is. You never really knew anything outside of it. He drops you off. He drops off. He parks in front of this junk shop called Arthur's Junk. And you see this big burly dude in an apron and thick leather safety gloves. He says, and you note that the apron is also salvaged or recycled because it's not one of those safety aprons that are thick and leathery.
Okay.
It says "Kiss the Cook" in burnt up stitching. This is hey, good evening, my and show.
Hey, who's this guy? Arthur?
Yeah, he's his name is Arthur Delaney.
Arthur Delaney?
Delaney.
Delaney. Arthur Delaney. I can ask for spell checks later.
Let's exact story.
Is this where Show's staying?
This is where Sho has been staying. Arthur was the one that took him in. Because as far as people know, Arthur is the mobile suit guy.
Oh, let's not turn on that.
Yeah. But I mean, he also gives like mobile suits to the other salvage teams. But junk is junk. And it was only Sho's mobile suit that really put him on the map because it drifted in generally serviceable condition. Yeah. It didn't even used to look like that. It used to be blue, but now it's like all rusty brown with all these armors that don't even belong there, or it should have belonged in a different unit. They just forced it in there. It's like forcing a square hole, a circle in a square hole. That's basically Sho's Gundam. They call it the Easy 8 because Easy 8 it. Because it was really easy for them to make it, so to just force it in there, even though it's technically, for a fact that you've handled it before, and after some experience with your own Gundam, for a fact that it's a miracle that the Easy 8 did not implode on itself because of all the incompatible parts in there. If you can imagine a guy who underwent surgery transplant. With several body parts from different people, but he's dead. Incompatible with all of them.
He should be dead.
Yeah, that's basically the Easy 8.
Oh my god.
And people call it, hey, Easy 8 it. Because that was their philosophy when they were building the machine. Hey, let's put this part in. Easy 8 it.
Oh my god. At this point, I'm beginning to feel a rising amount of pity for Sho. He might actually implode in one of his runs.
But he's pretty good. Like he is the lone soldier that can manage to drive away raiders. You have never really been in a fight so far because you've never really had a lot of good equipment. You only ever have the beam saber from your from the frame that's built into the Stargazer.
Okay.
So he ushers you back into the shop. Says, "Come on in." Show's been really excited to show the stereo, and he's an ebony skinned man with a big lumberjack jaw.
Big guy.
He goes to the back, and there is actually an elevator that goes down.
Okay.
So it's actually those wireframe railings that
the old school.
Old school, and then there's a massive lever that. Yeah, and it's still a vibrating, bumpy ride as you go down.
I was gonna put my hands on shoulders like.
That's basically, it's normal for you. That's how living here is. But you go down and you see this small hangar. You wager it's probably about 100 feet below the earth as you come down. It's a bit of a lengthy drop.
Okay.
And you see this small hangar, lots of metal.
You probably let the fish in Arthur's.
Yeah. Lots of metal embedded into the earth itself, like they built it into the earth, but just so that it wouldn't cave in.
Okay.
And there are like several mobile suits in the hangars being serviced.
Okay.
And you see a pile onto one side. A pile of black, gray or silver materials. And he says, "Do you see that beauty right over there?"
Am I looking at the pile?
You are looking at a beauty.
I squint.
I'll make a technology check.
Arthur, I'm not gonna doubt your skill, but what am I looking at?
Hey, 19.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. It's not that Arthur is a bad mechanic. He's competent, but he's not that level. But the thing is, what he was showing you was actually underneath the mess of things. But in that mess of like bars and rods and whatever's, you see a shiny, small but functional beam pistol.
Ooh!
And nestled underneath it is a double-barreled cannon, 50mm cannon.
Ooh!
And just from that, you can immediately tell, oh my god, Royosaurus this would fit in Royosaurus.
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, you get to the landing, you open the door, and you walk on over. It's earth, so when you're pitter pattering in the ground, in the soft soil. It's very arid here. It reeks of oil and steel because there's no ventilation. There are holes there are tubes to help people breathe.
Ventilate.
Yeah, but otherwise, if someone farts here, you know who it is.
Alright.
But you come to this, and it's massive, by the way. Like as you come upon the heap, it's pretty big. But yeah, you come upon
I'll
it.
just
and
go straight for the for the cannon.
And Arthur follows smugly behind you, and shows.
Where'd you get this?
He points at Sho, and Sho is like, "Well, if you could believe it, I found it in the first floor. It was in the spaceport, or at least the civilian spaceport. Nobody thought to look in that area because people thought it was just imploded and caved in. But there were some packed areas there that had pockets of unimpacted earth that when I pried it open, it wasn't. There were some breaks in there, but and he points at Arthur and says, "But I finished the job. I would have wanted to put this in the Easy 8, but the Easy 8 doesn't have the kind of engine power beam weaponry other than its own beam sabers, because this is a pistol, a beam pistol."
So you're saying I could have this?
We're saying we could lend it to you. It's for you to help Brother Show here climb up the Acero. What you say? I mean, same deal goes with your Gundam, really.
True.
I mean,
So
you know,
indefinitely,
for as long as you're helping us out,
it's in my possession.
technically, but I'm gonna have to ask some cut of your salvage. I mean, this is a partnership here. Come on. I mean, I get it. Your dad is a great, engineer of engines and whatnot. I respect his.
Make stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't work with mobile suits, but I do. I do work in mobile suits.
You do it really well, Arthur. Do it really well.
You've piloted the Easy 8. I bet you love it. But Easy 8 is my masterpiece.
If you say so. In my head.
How do you look like, by the way?
Okay.
You have red hair.
Yeah, flaming red hair. I think my mom must have had it somewhere in her genes because Dad doesn't look like he could have red hair in his lineage. And maybe it's my mom's European descent. And,
She is.
Exactly. Redheads aren't really outside European descent.
Yeah.
So
She must have had some Scandinavian ancestry. Yeah.
I like wearing clothing in browns because when they stain, they don't look as bad.
Nice. Smart.
I mostly function. It's like if anything, my hair is my only accessory because I like keeping it just as is. I don't really fix it up. So it's rough cut. Something. And the function extends to how my clothing is strapped to myself so that there's no loose threads or anywhere.
Yeah, because that shit gets caught in
Exactly.
places.
And it could also get dirt torn, resi, which I have to make a new shirt. And
What's your eye color?
I think forget, but I know it's also bright. Let me see. Let's see. But in general, I'd actually say that I get along with most people. It's like, nobody wants to make any more trouble than people want.
You would have green eyes.
There. Wow. I'm such a European.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it's your mother's side that defined you.
It's okay.
Her swimmers are stronger.
Oh, what? It's okay, she carried me for 9 months. Like, just as a point of note, it's like, when my eyes are green, right? The darker they are, the more upset I am. Just the way they dilate and stuff. But the brighter they are, the literal twinkle in your eye expression, it manifests quite easily. So right now they're very bright green. So I'd say I'm agreeing. It's like, okay, I'm pretty sure a product of skill like yours would be a waste not to use. So you know what?
Masterwork Saw, can't go wrong.
I'll be honored to use this for as long as you'll let me.
Alright. I'll have some of the boys load that onto a truck and deliver it onto the Thames.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Alright, good luck on your next
I don't tell them it's for my dog.
What?
I don't tell them it's for my dog.
Good luck on your next ascent, Mai. And looking forward to our next transactions.
Always a pleasure doing business.
You're always welcome to come by Arthur's junk. Don't snicker. I know what I said.
I'll see you again! We're going up the elevator. Does Arthur come with us?
No, he seems to be ordering some of the other boys to hey! Someone chain this up! Load it onto a truck. Come on!
Because once we're alone in the elevator, I'm just gonna snicker all the way up. It's like, I'm pretty sure he just really likes saying that.
I mean, he initially thought it didn't sound like it is, but now he's just owning it.
So you like being in Arthur's junk?
The truth is I live in Arthur's junk. I make my bed in Arthur's junk, 5 years. 5 years. Waking up to Arthur's junk.
I'm just losing it all the way. I hope he doesn't have any cameras.
No, it's nothing sophisticated like that.
Okay. I don't want it. I guess it's an island. I'm guessing. Is it hot island life, tropical island life, or San Francisco Bay life?
It's a little more temperate. It's not tropical in any way.
So it's middling.
It's a little more up north in the hemispheres.
Oh, so it's cool.
It's
Definitely
cooler.
colder.
Yeah. It snows here. It snows here every September. It's weird.
Okay. Well.
It's May. It's May 5th. It's May 5th. May 5th, year 25 of the After Impact calendar.
AI calendar. Alright. Well, I'll thank Sho for the surprise gun, and then I'll tell him that Roy could use some decent defense.
I mean, the last time we climbed in the Royosaur, with the Royosaurus in tow, all it could do was really just fight.
Those are pretty good teeth he has on him, but if he could not get in places that might blow him up, that'd be great.
And he has blown up every now and then. You'd have to repair him. And the show asks, how does Roy pilot the Royosaurus?
You know how you're in a cockpit and then you just
You sit down, there are panels and levers and everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't imagine a dog doing that.
Now see, you have to use a bit of your imagination here, because first of all, you do not expect Roy to pilot like you would, like I would.
Right.
Roy uses pedals because he doesn't have hands, and he's got 4 feet.
Are you fucking with me? Because, I would imagine like all these tubes and stuff would just attach to him like USBs and stuff, and all the data would just transfer automatically.
Now, see, if you already had that idea, you shouldn't have asked me because, I gave my dad that idea for the pedals. It would have been really cool, okay?
I mean, I'm a soldier, not an idiot. I mean, I have my aptitude test, I will have you know, were straight C's.
I don't know what that is, bro.
Completely a little above average.
I'll have you know, my idea was pretty fucking cool.
I'm not sure your dog would survive with that. That's a lot of
You survive.
That's a lot of input lag, Easy 8 though. Even the piloting was like easy, ain't it? And the way it just roars when you just press on the pedal for the servos on the joints to whir, it's like there's just a raw power in there, It's awesome.
Some people think when something gets that loud, there's something wrong. But okay, you know what? Thanks for the gun.
You're welcome, but
put it to good use.
I can't climb there alone. I mean, solo steel catching is dangerous work. And someone with, a beam pistol can melt steel beams. But bullets take a while to destroy these things.
So we're gonna use my beam cannon.
It's not a beam cannon, it's a beam pistol.
Oh no, sorry. The cannon was for Roy. It's like, you know what? I kind of went out here to get fish, without eating. Did we grab some bread from my mom's bakery at least?
So you get to the top and you just about to exit out of Arthur's junk where you left the basket, and you see now there are like two cats that are rummaging.
I knew it. Those are fast cats.
Make a range attack.
That would be a plus.
You're not proficient in shoes, so it's just
okay.
Flat dexterity.
Okay.
You threw your shoe, and there were two cats. The one cat looks up. It slaps him on the forehead. It bounces up and slaps the other one on top of his head.
Those
and
are mine.
Just scurries off. One of them did manage to get one of your finer catches in its mouth as it scurried off.
I'm gonna throw my other shoe at it.
Good attack.
It's like, catch your own fucking fish. Attack. 15.
Yeah, that still hits. It sort of gets on its belly, but the fish is still there, and then it.
And like.
Some fish are missing, or a lot of them have like scratch and bite marks on it. But
Should have got. That's one of my better baskets. Got a hole in it.
oh, well, maybe we'll find up there.
Okay.
We're just past residential.
Okay.
Actually, we're heading past towards military.
Okay, that sounds a lot better, but. Oh, Sean, scratch my fish!
I'm not really a fish person, even though like everything we eat here is fish.
When he says that, I'll just go like poke his side.
He's very malnourished. He doesn't eat a lot here because he doesn't like fish.
You might wanna get in with the diets.
I mean, I'm a soldier. I'm used to starvation.
What the fuck kind of life you live?
The BSF has just about enough food for for every boots on the ground. So I'm eating just about the same as what the ESF fed me at the time. So it's all good. It's all good.
It's a waste.
Look, it's all good. It keeps my brain active, you know, hunger. Anyway.
You know, there are lots of ways to cook fish, and I will enumerate them as we drive to my mom's bakery.
So-
You could have it with sauce. You could have it with several kinds of sauce. You could roll it up. You could have it steamed, boiled. Have you ever tried it with ginger? You could put it in some milk.
Hey, ginger is really rare. Okay,
I'm just saying, you know,
they don't naturally grow in island places like this.
Okay. You just put it together with some. You get any of the fruits from the other.
Fruit in fish. And fish is bad enough.
What are you, 12?
But I mean,
It's like look at you! I'm just saying, you know, if you put in a little more protein in you, you could probably, you know, move faster in some stuff.
I move fast enough.
Yeah.
I keep up with my training.
Maybe you'd be a bee instead of a sheep if we had no fish.
The aptitude tests were just to measure IQ and whatever's. I don't need that.
You were just proud of them a while ago!
I mean, my life is mobile suit piloting, not academics or whatever.
Well, just what I'm gonna tell you. Look at me, I'm sure. I don't need fish to survive. I can starve if you okay.
And, he drives off to your place actually. You don't have your own shop. You don't have your own mechanic shop because your dad is always called down to other sectors
He's
to repair. He's on call.
on call there.
So, but he knows his stuff for sure. And a lot of the times, whatever parts is sent to Thames, it's really just, can you take a look at this? Or
It's appraisal.
for appraisal, or this is for my Gundam. They know you have a Gundam, they just don't know that Them helped build it.
Okay, so Arthur didn't really question how it was. Oh, they did.
As far as they know, it was a really good find. Like, it's like finding the one clam with a pearl in its mouth.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Does Mai know how to cook?
Competently, I would say, but not with any sort of proficiency.
Alright. Because when we're near the bakery, I'll just tell Shell that I am going to find a fish dish he will like. Because he is so sad and skinny.
Not too bad. So you
I'm a pretty good swimmer.
he parks in front of your house, and it's one of the few houses that have concrete on it. Likely they just uprooted one of the houses from the residentials. They just propped it down there, and then they basically put a bunch of metal frames to keep it on the ground. It's pretty homey, and it doesn't sink when it quakes or something.
Oh, pretty good foundation.
Yeah, it works.
Alright.
But it's the front that has the bakery. The
Ah.
small little nook inside your house where your mom is. What is it called?
First thing I thought was like Simone's supplements, but that's a little too.
That's Arthur's junk all over again.
Let's get a little information. Let's get a little inspiration from local cuisine. Say sweet inspiration.
Nice. Not sponsored by Sweet Inspiration. This episode
No,
is not
sweet
sponsored.
inspiration. That's the one there. Sweet inspirations.
Yeah. Sweet Inspiration only.
Yes.
Yeah. But not this episode is not sponsored by Sweet Inspirations. Sponsored. Anyway. You come upon, you enter the. It's basically two doors. One goes to your house, one goes to the bakery, and the bakery side is the one with the working oven, and you can even see some smoke coming out of the window. And it smells. It's one of the few things that doesn't smell of iron.
Probably why mom wanted to get into it.
Yeah, and just as you were exiting, you bump into an individual that you know, Mother Christiana Padridge. It's very. It's hard to know. You've never seen her without outside of her habit. You don't even know her hair color, but her eyebrows are blonde. Maybe they match. Otherwise, she's some mutant or something. But
Madrid smash my grapes.
And she has deep red eyes. You could swear she might have been one of those vampires you might have read about. But you know, she walks in the sun, so she's cool. And she comes out with a small little paper bag in a bundle over her black habit, and she's Christian. She is actually Catholic. Religion in this world, the remnant church is. It's not. I mean, Christianity and Catholicism is kaput.
Okay.
But people still believe in it. But basically, the remnant church is for people to have a place to go to for their faith. They call it remnant church because, well, they are the remnants of the old world. Religion is a remnant of the old world, but if it keeps people motivated, keeps people spiritual and happy,
it fills a need.
Fills a need. The remnant church, there are pockets, at least as far as from what you may have heard, there are branches in other places, but you know, it's not like the big Catholic church levels of organization as we know in our world.
Okay, like the Vatican.
Yeah, but the remnant church is at least like organized enough to have branches and stuff, and sometimes other branches will send in supplies to help the Acero.
Okay.
And sometimes the reverse happens that Cristiano will call for aid to send supplies to this other place for their remnant church because they're in need, you know,
so
for paying forward.
Okay, so it's also the main hub of hospitality.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
And people, there are a lot of people in that area of Artesia where you know people don't have a home, or you know, kids who don't have parents or lost their parents steel catching. It's a dangerous job.
Right.
And not all the mobile suits are as good as yours or the Easy 8s, relatively. It's consider that the Easy 8 is one of the good ones.
Right. The average. All right. I will greet Mother Christiana.
Good morning to you, Mom.
Good morning, sister.
Yeah. And you see that like a bunch of kids around her, and they all have their own little buns, and they're like sniffing it really closely.
I imagine like mom makes these buns that have little faces on them.
Yeah, they would. And they wave hi to you.
Hello.
It says, how are you doing today? Are you doing some steel catching today?
My dad did your show.
Make a perception check. 15?
Yeah. Is it 12?
Doesn't seem like it. Oh, I mean 15. You rolled an 8?
Sorry, an 8 plus 3, it's 11.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it.
I'll just
I mean,
say,
when the door opened, you see your mom there. The brown-haired Simone.
I'll just say, sorry, maybe, you know. Whether she'll be pretty shiny, pretty dry. Yeah.
Okay. If you have time.
Yes.
There's not saying it's required, but there's been a bit of a fever outbreak among the kids. If you could find some multivitamin vitamins or paracetamols.
I'll keep that in mind, Mother Christiana. I'll tell Sho about it too.
And, you see the Cho is avoiding eye contact, you know, he's like giving the side eye to Christiana.
I would like to know why.
Make an insight check.
Is he blushing?
Make an insight check. New type. New type.
I know. I can add a D4.
So imagine with Bless, that's double D4s. Or with
They
Guidance
stack.
rather. They stack, man.
20 plus 23.
He's had a bit of a crush going on with Christiana for a while now. It's just that, number one, she's chaste. Number two, you've never seen them speak. Even though Sho has a bit of notoriety in the island.
Among women.
No, just, you know, oh, it's Sho, you know, he's the guy who protects us, or, you know.
So Sho is popular, but he doesn't
I
speak.
mean, yeah, but he's never spoken to Christiana. I mean, you've never seen him speak to Christiana. Just the odd hi, hello, goodbye kind of thing.
when I noticed, when I processed all that like really quickly, what does Mother Christiana's bread look like? No sneaker.
It's French bread. You know, this long ones.
Baguette.
Baguette. Baguette.
We this happened, but we got it out.
It's actually, I mean, it's a little. Your mother does her best, but
With what we have.
with what you have, but she doesn't have like enough flour to make it soft. So she.
That should be crispy hard.
Yeah, or she doesn't have enough of the ingredients to make it softer.
Okay, so it's sister likes it hard.
Or she works with what she's got.
No, baguettes are actually crispy.
Well, I mean, in our world it is, but from what they're experiencing, baguettes are. I mean, they're crispy on the outside, but then you get to a layer of rock.
Okay, in the time I've been talking to Mother Christiana and I noticed Sho being Tope, I'm going to jab him hard in the bony rib in my elbow.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Mother Christiana, you know, I never actually seen you talk with my friend Sho here. Sho, I'm not sure if you met Mother Christiana, you know, you gotta have heard about her. She is the kindest lady on the entire island.
I mean, I've
The Mother Christiana, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Sho here.
yes, one of the few people who protect us, very kind. It's nice to finally meet you after all these years. And they have this really awkward, it's a really awkward handshake. Like he's trying to look for her hand, but constantly there's this opposite polarity magnetism that's like.
I'm gonna put my arm around Sho's shoulder so that I could also simultaneously brush my hand. So just to make him face the mother. It's like, you know, so Mother Christiana, it's like my friend here. I guess he's just heard so much about the good stuff you do. You're kind of a celebrity among us locals. And he's like, what? He's only here for like the past 5 years, and he's not really the talker, you know. You're about to get to know him. Like, come on, say something, Sho.
And he's like, God be with you, mother.
He tries.
You see that some of the kids don't really like him because they know what they know what he wants from Christiana, but he's not the only one. He just happens to be the least aggressive. And you note that they sort of try and get Christiana out of the situation by saying, "Oh, let's go home, please," and she agrees, and she says, "I have to go. And we're having soup today with bread. We're gonna make croutons out of this."
Oh, you know, Mom used to do that. Mom would do that for me too when I was a kid, and then now, you know, when I'm sick and all, you put them in the milk and bread. It tastes really good. Have you ever done that, Sho?
I mean, if it's not fish.
like, anyway, you know, it's always good to make new friends, right?
Yep.
Right?
Oh,
And this really nice meeting you. She's still looking. Mother Christiana.
he's like, I'm gonna shoot you later in the back.
Oh, you down here.
And then you see that one of the kids wave goodbye at you, looks at Sho and kicks him in the shin as he runs away.
While they're walking away, I was still on the shoulder and it's like,
What?
I mean, you were never gonna get that handshake in another 5 years if I weren't.
I mean-
Yeah.
She's sort of like,
Yeah.
she has like this
Uh,
80 field on her or something, you know, like, and besides, she's chaste.
All I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong with being friends with her.
I guess. I heard from Arthur the other day. He said, creepy ain't a crime or something, but you know.
Let's not go there.
Okay, yeah, that's smart.
Because I think there's a reason Arthur lives alone. He's a good mechanic. There's a reason he lives alone.
Calls it Arthur's junk.
It's only problem. Maybe the only way he gets anyone in there.
Don't tell him that. It's a sore spot.
So what? That's anyway, all I'm saying is, you know, it's not bad to just say hello to girls, you know. Mother Christiana is one of like the nicest people out there. And let's be honest, okay, you know, a lot of people are actually, who doesn't want someone that's, you know, elegant and kind and good with kids as her or something.
She actually knows how to use a knife. Like, I saw her like subdue one of her suitors once with like she has a combat knife there. Don't ask how I know this. It's just I should not have said anything. But
I will stop asking.
I dropped
will
you
never
off
ask.
at your house, but I will see
I
you.
will not bring it up again if you answer one question.
What?
Where's the knife?
So
Where is the knife?
she has like long,
Sleeves.
big sleeves. She's pretty clever. This leather work sheath in
It's on
there.
her forearm.
Yeah, it's actually under here, and like
So it's a stiletto.
she's like, and then you know I feel like she was trained somewhere. I'm not sure, but don't ask how I know this. But
Because if you had said it was like her leg or something, you know, sure.
no, that habit goes all the way to her ankles.
It's true. It would be pretty.
You know, I
Maybe
think
I
that's
should get her.
I think that's blasphemy or something. I don't know. I didn't grow up in a religious house,
So you shouldn't have any qualms talking to the nice, kind lady.
if anything, I should have all the qualms because she's the one with all the rules from God.
Being friends isn't bad, sure.
Sure.
Besides, look at that. You probably made her feel bad. This was the only time you talked to her after all the time you were already here. She's probably gonna think you hate her or something.
Yeah, put it that way. Fine.
It's not like anyone else except your best friend here is going to tell her what you really feel. Which isn't anything dirty or creepy, no matter what Arthur says.
Anyway, I've dropped you off at your place. The gun's gonna come in a few hours. And
Okay, so that means I can meet you at the usual place.
Meet me at the base of the Acero. We'll make our ascent from there, and
You don't want to get any bread while you're here?
ooh, that's a good idea.
Do you
So-
not smell that?
Yeah, it's not fish. So he comes in with you, and you see your mother, this very attractive brunette, and you would hope that you would grow as well as she would. This very beautiful lady with strands to the side that frames her face, blue gray eyes, and the top of her head just waves a little bit. And she's wearing this orange coat from a symbol that you note is pre-war. So this jacket is probably pre-war.
Okay. That's my hot mama.
Yeah, she is Simone Visse Grant. She sees you as she's just with big mittens. Actually, it's not mittens. kitchen mittens. It's the ones they use at places like Arthur's Junk. It's clean at least. But she says, "Oh, welcome. Hello."
Hello, Mama.
She gives you a kiss. She says, "Sure. I don't like that you're here."
Ma, you're just a customer.
And you're gonna climb, aren't you?
I found a gun. It's gonna fit Roy Stars or no one.
When Tam hears about this, and where did this gun come from? She looks at Show.
Came from Arthur's Junk.
I thought you better than that. But usual precautions. And you see that this creature of metal on 4 legs walks up with a tray tied to its back with bread on it. It walks up to you and it sort of bends down to offer some free bread.
Hey, Roy. I know he can't feel it, but I just like rub his cheeks.
Like you hear from the internal voice box, "Worf, Worf, Worf."
I was like, what's Roy serving today?
And she says, the usual, the failures.
They still taste great, man.
It's hard. Like it's not something you chew on. Like ran out of the ingredients that I need, but I suppose I should close up shop early. She looks at Show and says, "Take whatever you want, as long as you protect her." Show says, "If you don't mind, madam, I will take this one with the hot dog."
The what?
The one with the hot dog inside. And I will see you later, partner. He walks out with at least something to eat.
I will tell Mama about the fish I caught and how I defended them against cats.
Do you have the fish?
I was able to save the best one.
Did you leave this somewhere? You know the cats will get to this.
I swear, I set it down. Like 1 minute, they were all over it, but I defended them really well. See? Threw my food at them and everything. It's like,
We'll leave this for Tim. It's his favorite. She takes it inside. As you go to the door, she flips the sign and closes shop. As Roy is just following behind you, the tray is still on his back.
okay, maybe we could take this off.
And you enter the side door that leads to your house. It's a very quaint home. There's actually some nice textured wallpaper on this place. It's a still cramped place, but there's a small kitchen there with right in front of the stairwell that leads to the rooms.
A home?
Yeah.
It's home?
And it's in the kitchen too. She says, "So, where will you be going?"
No, the usual meeting show, the usual place. Just at the base. See if we can.
Don't lie to your mother.
Okay, but there is a little higher.
Higher?
Just a little higher.
How high is this?
Like, because Roy Show told me a while ago that a lot of people haven't been looking into the civilian quarters, but if you get in there, you find some really, really useful things that are intact in it.
How well surveyed is this area?
How what?
How well surveyed is this area? She leans in.
The thing is,
She's really reading your eyes.
like I said, people haven't been looking into the civilian areas, so
Are you going to uncharted territory?
I'll be saved.
She goes on this French tirade of just random swear words in French. Pardon the French, but your father said not to go to uncharted territory.
Mama! There's gotta be something better up there. What if I find something that, be really good?
We have just finished the Luna Titanium on the Stargazer. You're going to get that damaged already. You know the
No.
parts are expensive.
No, Mama. It's never gonna be. It's never gonna. What's it? It's only gonna be a shiny ornament unless I go out and use it.
And as she just gives the mother of all eye rolls, you hear bam bam from the front of the house, and you hear the revving of engine, and it's like, who is it? She goes to the front with you. You see that there's this truck with a massive flatbed, and on it are two massive guns on it, and there's this guy. This is some guy who works in Arthur's junk. He says, "So where do I put the guns, ma'am?" Yeah, you're in front of your mom. Is that a beam pistol? Is that a cannon for the Royosaurus? I hate that you named that. It's very hard with my accent.
Ma, I know you can just call it the Rex. It's okay. Roy doesn't mind who you're on.
Worf. Like the mouth doesn't even move. Like Worf.
He's adorable. You're adorable. Can I just show them, what it is?
She presses this big red button at the side of the door, and you see like right next to the house, the earth begins to sink and leads into a lower floor garage where your Gundam is stored. It says, just lay it down there, please, and I suppose you'll be climbing before your father gets home.
That way I can be back before he does. It's gonna be a quick job, Mom.
Better be. I love you too. Gee.
I'll just don't worry about it, Mom. I'll handle it. I'll just show the boys where they can put the gun.
So you go downstairs. It's a similar setup to Arthur's junk, but it's really just the first floor. But I mean, to them it's the hangar. But to you and to show, there are lower floors where you keep a lot of like the actual tech. And this is very good tech. Luckily, Sho can be trusted, but as far as the people know, it's just the first floor. It's just the one floor, but similar like steel and earth, and there is a small steel platform there also where the truck backs up into there, and the flatbed rises a little bit on it and going clink 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 clink.
Oh yeah.
Well, job's done. That'll be 10 credits.
Is that the usual? Is that really the usual?
He opens up this small
terminal?
card scanner.
Oh.
And it's like it's a card looking thing itself, but you tap your own credit card in there. 10 credits, please.
Okay.
There isn't really any charge. That's just it. Thank you. He drives off.
What does he look like? Is he new?
He has a cap on him, but he's.
Roy,
like,
did you take pictures?
Worf.
I can never tell that's a yes or a no.
He doesn't even have. I mean, he has cameras, but he doesn't have the capacity. take snapshots.
Damn it.
Uh,
I'm gonna ask show what that jerk was.
so you see at the
Color
far
his
side,
eyes.
yeah, at the start, it's kind of covered by the visor of the cap.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember his voice.
Okay. You see the side, and that's where this white, very pristine looking humanoid machine just stands proud with the ring circling on its back.
Hello, gorgeous.
Simone comes up to you and says, and she's in her like she has her laptop now, and she's made to type some stuff, and says you should do some calibrations for the Stargazer ring.
Okay. I'll hop in.
You hop in and you do some calibrations with your mom.
Roy helps me. I'll just step on his back. Could he reinforces?
Yeah, and you install the weapons.
Oh yeah.
The gun, the beam pistol does need to be like in a software process of just when it's attached to the hand, it absorbs energy from the Stargazer to shoot the beam.
Okay.
And for the Royosaurus, it just clamps onto the back where the systems where you just have to like attach it properly, and the systems come online to identify that the weapon's there.
Look at you, Roy. You're almost a tank.
And night falls, and you head toward you.
I'll make sure to like smoke the fish for when Dad comes back.
He likes it smoked, actually. It's a very Japanese thing.
It's also easier to prepare and it lasts a little longer.
The garage, the hangar where you are, it's actually also an elevator. It rises up from behind your own house, and you leap off and you engage your boosters in midair, and you fly off towards the Acero.
All
The
right.
Acero, rather.
And so me and Roy just fly off.
Yeah. Roy. Technically, Roy starts off as a backpack attachment that just attaches.
Got
Doesn't really have a fly speed.
Oh, okay. I will kiss my mama goodbye and say that not to wait up. I have a key to the house.
She says, "No father heals of this. I cannot save you from him."
I'll tell him how well the the rings work.
You better be back with good results and not a scratch on you.
No, I don't have any scars or anything.
That's okay.
I love you, Mama.
I love you too.
Okay.
So you go to the base, or at least it's not actually the base, because if this is the colony, it's embedded deeper in, and the people siphon whatever technology they can to power the entire island. But the base is actually somewhere just before the center of the colony, and it's near the space. It's actually the spaceport.
Okay.
Where ships would dock there and they would greet in people. You wager that's how they do it in outer space, at least from what you see in the videos. But everything here is rusted, dilapidated steel.
Am I the first one here?
Sho is already there. He was sleeping in the cockpit of the EZ-8. And as you fly, he wakes up and, "Hey! Cockpit's not working. The door's not closing, but that's an easy fix, because easy, ain't it?"
The mobile suit does this.
I just need your help.
Okay. Got to run to see the tizzy.
Go ahead and make a machinery check for me. It's it's one of those things. It's a very Arthur's junk kind of signature where you spot that that screw is completely incompatible with this particular joint, because you know that this screw is different from the screw on that mirrors it. That's why it's not closing, because this one isn't spinning. And you note that the screw that you found in the car,
I was gonna ask.
that was the one. And
Hey, sure. That
Yep.
screw found in your car earlier.
oh yeah, you have it. My lucky screw.
Haha, it's gonna make your day luckier.
I mean, it's a great screw. Oh, okay. Yeah, you take out like this small power drill that you can just. And after
What the hell did this get in your car?
you jump off to the palm of the Stargazer and you press a few buttons on your media devices and puts you closer to the cockpit. And he presses a few buttons on his.
It's like riding a roller coaster without shit.
Pretty much. And you fly up. It's never an easy sight because the spaceport itself, that's just the beginning part. But when you exit the spaceport, which is basically a series of massive vents that your Gundams can fit through, when you exit those vents, it's basically a cityscape, a circular cityscape with the top part completely. Basically, it's completely steel that's like decaying, or it's peeling off, or it's hanging by some cabling. But you know that steel sky used to show an actual sky. This thing used to spin and generate an artificial gravity and artificial weather. And at the very center of this cylindrical structure is the actual city within the colony. A lot of the soil is just out, and likely because you're living in it, outside in the islet itself. And there are some pockets of houses that are just still stuck there, or there's some suburbs here and there that you may have surveyed before. And what's scary about this place is that because it's vertical, things fall.
Right.
And
Any disturbances.
And a lot of machinery. There's a lot, because the engines are at the very top. There's a lot of machinery there that's left untouched,
Right.
and it just falls. Some of them are good falls, because when it falls, like, oh shit, that's a good engine, But
Don't land on anyone.
yeah, it has killed people. I mean, surveyors or steel catching is it's a dangerous job.
It's never stings. It's like the creepiest treasure chest.
So, and you're in your cockpit, this pristine white cockpit, and unlike the panels and screens of the EZ8, the panels and screens of the EZ8 is like functional metal, screen screwed on metal, with actual physical dials. But yours is software, it's screen, LED. It's very high tech. You see Show's face appear on one side of the screen, and you hear it through the static of the radio, the shortwave radio, and says, "All right, it's right over." You see the mobile suit also does that, and you see that another screen opens up at the side of the other side of your cockpit.
Interface? Okay.
Yeah, and this thing appears, and the map of the Acero appears.
Okay.
And you see, and it blips there. That's where you're supposed to go.
So did you get any clues about this thing? Like what the hell?
You're beginning to your ascent. You're basically like
Rock climbing?
kind of, but more like reverse rappelling. You're like jumping up, you're boosting up, and then finding some footing, and then flying up again, finding some sort of landing that you can rest your Gundams upon. It's a dangerous job because sometimes when you land, it breaks because Gundams are heavy. Especially Easy 8. The Easy 8, not only is it inefficient, but it's also fucking heavy. Yours is light as a feather in comparison. You begin your ascent, rock faces here and there, or sometimes the sides of the artificials, or what used to be the artificial sky, you just grab onto a cabling as you. Luckily, the software macros are very sophisticated that the Gundam can do such sophisticated human-like movements. But in comparison, the Easy 8 is very mechanical, like jerky, one step at a time kind of thing. Whereas yours is more fluid and several subsystems running at the same time. You wager the Easy 8 doesn't have that kind of computing power.
So it's actually being supplemented by Show's prowess.
Yeah, it's raw piloting skill for Show, and he says, well, I haven't found anything in particular, but I just know that it's in this what you call this scientific or is this science building. So hey, science, everyone loves science.
Did you like science?
No. I like engineering, I like the mechanics, but when you get into the whole physics of everything, suddenly just my brain shorts.
Not that I ever went to engineering school or anything like that, like my dad and you probably did, but
yeah, the basics in the academy.
Didn't engineering require physics to know not to make things, fall apart?
Yeah, but sometimes you can just wing it.
The Stargazer face bombs. But not enough to actually hit its face like.
I mean, the Easy 8 is a product of winging it. And it has protected Isla Acero for years. Less than a decade, but years.
I'm gonna say that maybe the couple of years, maybe enabling this behavior wasn't the best thing that happened. But okay. Let's just try not to fall, okay? Otherwise, if you're the one that gets out here, you're gonna have to tell my dad what happened.
No. And he says,
he was going to hunt you down, Sho.
Follow me then. He says, he leads you off an easy path. Basically, something that's been surveyed before. That's it. That basically means that this path is safe to traverse for mobile suits. It's basically like the side vents that cut across most of the landscape, the cityscape of the colony. Okay. And by the way, the entire place is dark. There is no lighting. The only lighting there is from the eyes of your Gundams.
Right.
Would
I don't know. Maybe my Stargazer's rings can emit light.
They could if you wanted to. Oh, by the way, choose which infusions you want. But let's not get into infusions just yet. Let's just say that your infusions is +1 to your attacks and +1 to your AC.
Okay.
Alright. So just put here. I'll just put here. Your ranged weapons is +6 or +7 because it's a +1 weapon.
Okay.
And the damage is at +5. Okay.
Okay.
Your AC is gonna be 15.
Okay.
We'll learn infusions as we go.
No problem.
After the session.
No problem. I'll get it.
You come upon a collapsed section of the vents.
Okay.
And, you see that there's a lot of melted in sections of the collapse, and you know this to be beam saber melting. That they tried to break through it. It says, okay. See, the problem is, if we try to continue further with the beam sabers, all the other stuff's gonna collapse. And shell weapons don't melt things. They break through things. And he shows his rifle is actually shell based. It's physical, unlike yours is energy. So we're gonna need you to shoot this thing with your beam pistol.
So is there anything we can use? I look around. Is there anything we can use to reinforce the top so that
It doesn't cave on you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make either an investigation check or a machinery check. Your choice.
Machinery or investigation?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use machinery.
Okay, go ahead. +4.
That was almost not sucky.
9.
Show, help me find something that we can use to.
See, he tries to help you out. Go ahead and roll again. It's basically advantage. Can't find anything. I mean, basically, if you have to make one good shot at the center of this structure to melt it all the way without caving in the top part.
Alright. Okay.
Counting on you. You got this. We trust you. You're the hope of the island.
The Gundam literally does that. Okay. So just one attack roll.
Make an attack roll. +7. 17. Okay, that hits. Go for damage. What does the beam pistol say?
I took this out already. Okay, it is a D8. Oh wait, that's a bonus action. With 1d6 radiant.
Yeah.
Where my 6s at? There we are. Okay. Roll for mommy.
3
Okay.
plus 5, I think.
It doesn't say what my plus is, but
No, it's you're using intelligence.
so yeah, plus 5.
Okay. Well, it's +4, but it's a +1 weapon because of your infusion.
Okay, dokie.
And you fire at the very center of it. You see the beam. It's green, and it just bores a hole, tearing through it like butter. And there's a satisfying noise, this explosion of energy.
I am awesome.
The EZA just looks at. That was cool. He's a very rudimentary machine. Now do it again.
Alright.
I'm gonna help you. And you see an easier targeting reticle. And basically the help action. So.
Alright.
17 again. Okay. You fire again. You aim down. And it goes into the same hole. And you feel an explosion from beyond the debris. Roll for damage.
I hope I'm not wrecking whatever's in there. Plus 9.
Okay.
One more than earlier.
You see a lot of the debris begins to fall, but the top part, it's not falling. So it's like everything is still stable. But this is basically Steelcatcher job business. Like one wrong move and you will be covered in debris.
It's kind of like mining.
A little bit, basically.
But
You're,
upwards.
yeah. I mean, that's what the colony is. Show takes. You see the EZ8. You see the EZ8 put the gun, holster the gun to the back of its waist. Takes out a beam saber. This pink beam of light erupt from it. You see small globules at first that begin to collect in its path, and then it erupts. There's this constant vibrating hum to it. It says, "All right, I can take over the rest." As he begins to slowly cut through the top to make everything else fall downwards, and make a path that's safe enough for 2 Gundams to fit through.
Alright. I'll just keep an eye out on anything in case something
Make
goes
a
wrong.
machinery check for me. I like the machinery check.
Yay! Machinery, it's a 16.
Okay. You note that as the show is doing so, you know that something is a particularly large metal panel is wobbly at the top. And you see as because it's so loud, it's a very loud melting sound, and there's a lot of vibration in the steel.
It's triggering it loose. Can I fly up and hover and hold into place?
Okay, go ahead and I'll say give me an athletics check for that.
Oh shit.
Someone dumped something.
Shit.
Oh shit!
Shit.
First natural one of this game. I'm so proud of you.
And a -1.
So you fly up, but you try and hold it on with Stargazer. But it is. You realize that small square panel, it was actually holding onto a lot of other big debris of metal, and you feel like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I start screaming.
It's like almost there, but all you hear is like.
I will ask. I will have Roy detach. So that he would fucking shows attention.
Okay, it doesn't detach all the way because there's nowhere to land for Roy, but it basically just stands up from the back of the Stargazer, and you note there's some messages going on in there, and it says, show Lllostri is currently preoccupied. Recommend to shoot the debris.
I'll do that.
Roll for Roy, actually. That's gonna be for him. It's actually let me see that.
You can do this, Roy.
Actually, it would use your attack bonus. So
Alright.
it's +7 plus 5.
+7 attack.
+5 to damage. 14. That hits. Roll for damage. I think it's a 2d6 for him. For the dual cannons.
Right.
9 plus 5, 14.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're holding it onto it, and you feel like the boosters are beginning to give out. And
Oh my god, that's gonna kill me, oh my god.
And the two cannons take aim. And you hear a sudden as two shells fire out from each barrel, and it breaks apart it breaks the debris backwards, making it fall on the other side of this whatever vent this is. And you see that the panel you were holding, you just hear it echo in the distance.
Okay.
And you hear.
Good job, Roy!
And she'll finally finish as all these loose debris just falls. Like, hey, what are you doing up there?
I just saved your life, asshole!
What? Please.
I just look at them from then. I hover back down, and then the Gundam does. You were this close to being mincemeat. I say over the columns. Senta. Okay.
So you, as the debris from the ventilation falls, you note that this part is. It seems like if this entire thing was the cityscape of the colony surrounded by the cylinder, this one broke off and actually has a level field, and it's no longer a vertical climb.
Okay.
And it's a strange but relaxing feeling that, oh yeah, finally saw a flat Earth.
Okay.
Not the theory, but actual.
That's not good.
Yeah, and you see off into the distance this. You wager as the lights flash onto it, this white building. With a central building with two wings. There is a symbol there. Go ahead and give me a history check.
I'm very smart. This would be a flat +4.
Not one. we're back.
Shut up. Just didn't throw for my stats at least.
Stats are good.
Don't continue that.
It looks familiar, at least. Like, as far as you know, it looks familiar.
Does that look anything like my mom's symbol?
Make an intelligence check for me. Oh, yeah.
Where's the work? 9.
9. Maybe?
Hey, show!
Yeah, I see it. That's the building. And do you see on the map the blip is? You're really close to the blip.
Does that symbol look like my mom's? Can't remember.
I don't know.
You seen it? Ever?
I mean, I don't look at your mom very often. And whenever we're in the same room, she eyes me like I'm gonna get you killed or something.
Let's not make that happen. But really, you don't. We're walking towards it, I guess. And I just keep thinking. So you've never seen it before. You have an idea what this even used to be?
Looks familiar. He's gonna make a history check. Because why not? Oh. Surprise, surprise.
Please help out, show. My big brain's just not cutting it to 10. I like this. I love this music, by the way.
There it is. There's the stats. In plus 0, so flat 16.
Oh, much better.
This is from my academy days, and you see that it's a symbol of a sword in front of this sun, like sun. One half is sun, one half is moon, with a sword at the center, and the sword is the sword has this eye at the guard. This is, that's the Saberhagen Institute. Have you heard of new types? You can make a.
I don't know. My brain's not feeling at its best after saving your ass.
You can make an astrophysics or history check. You'll get different information based on what you wrote.
Okay. I'll go with history. 20.
20. Okay. You note that Saberhagen Institute, or new types rather, they were like pre-war. They were like a thing of controversy. Like there is this people are saying that the new types are the next stage of humanity.
Evolutionary.
Yeah, but there was a lot of pushback from what you've read before. There was a lot of people saying that it's not true, and but the Saberhagen Institute has actually comes up, and as he mentions it, and he says that, and you note that the Saberhagen Institute is one such private institute that studied new type phenomenon.
Oh.
And yeah.
Have you ever heard a new type show?
The Academy, yeah. I mean, that's sort of what they call you jokingly if you're really good at dodging or really good at just piloting in general. It's like, hey, you're a new type, aren't you? You know, that sort of thing.
But you've never met one.
I mean, do they look any different?
Don't they like know these things?
I don't know.
While I'm nervously chewing a piece of leftover bread.
It's pretty hard now.
Chewing
Yeah.
methodically. Ah. What the hell is in there to be using something? Have you ever even checked this place? Maybe has this always been
I mean,
online?
that's why I asked you to come with.
Okay. Yeah.
And the only reason we were able to explore this place is because you have a beam rifle on you, or beam pistol.
Because I'm gonna say, I mean, I know we're like living in all this tech and stuff, but little creepy. You ever seen a ghost show?
No, I don't really believe in such things.
I mean, I don't think anyone's ever believed these things will fall out of the sky either.
That's true. But, you know, if it's some sciencey stuff, maybe we'll find something good. And, you know, the Christiana asked for medicine or something, right? Don't ask how I know. Just saying, science place, we might find science medicine, you know.
You know, if you actually
Shut
talk to
up.
her with the same determination as you listen in our conversations. Let's go.
You know. So it's actually pedals that work the steps, and the harder you press, the faster it goes. And if you press really hard, it engages the boosters.
Oh.
And there's a lever for aiming, and then there's like a push lever for that engages more boosters if you really want to go fast.
See, Roy could totally handle this.
But you walk and you hear something blip in your alert.
Because I'm like, they're gonna do that.
Like ding, 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 ding. Like you see target. There's a target lock, and you suddenly you feel.
Okay. Like I need to pee.
No, sorry. So you suddenly these things, the floor next to the building, the ground opens, and 3 mobile suits come out.
What the fuck?
And you see them, these, from what the lighting says, mobile suits. These, it's an orange chest mecha, but light blue coloration on the limbs, a red faceplate with 3 eyes, 2 on both sides and a central eye, and then there's this chin part similar to your Gundams, and it's long, and then at the back of its head.
Okay. Have I ever seen those?
You identify this. It says there it is DT68008 Dauntress.
Okay.
Basic infantry units of the ESF. And give me your and Roy's ACHP.
ACHP. Mine is, my AC would be 15. My HP is 24. Roy
Rex.
is 20 and his AC is, I'm not sure.
It should say there.
It doesn't.
Oh, 1 second. Let's rectify that. That would be a 15.
15.
And I would like him to roll initiative for me.
Me and Roy roll separately, right?
No,
Same
Roy
initiative.
comes after you do.
Okay.
That's a 7. Not bad.
Patronize me!
What? And we shall have as orange. Easy, ain't it? Ha! The easy 8 rolled an 8.
Oh my god.
What's your initiative? It was a 7 plus your dex 9.
9.
The building with 2 wings.
Look at those magnets.
This is, it was a bad drilling. So the building is actually not very big, and the central building is larger than the 2 wings.
Okay.
Right there, and then
Oh, also, this area is not safe from debris.
Oh fuck.
There is quite a bit of destruction in the area.
Okay.
But you can fly, don't forget.
Are these things?
These are like, what?
I was gonna ask if these things are piloted.
We don't know. But you wager, just by the logic of things,
They
it
can't be.
wouldn't make sense if they were. Because this thing has been here for 25 years. It would be weird if... I mean, it'd be weird or creepy or both. If this were piloted.
Show my god, life is really weird and creepy.
He says, I was hoping we wouldn't get into a fight so your father wouldn't kill me, but I guess this is the time to shine. Let's do this. Top of the round.
Is this guy here.
Oh,
It will move.
So this one moves here. It will shoot at Show.
oh.
It hides behind this debris of this large metal frame that's lodged onto the earth, and he's gonna attack twice. He peeks out, and you see this large rifle. It fires, and there are bullets still. Attack twice against Sho. That's a hit. That's a hit. So Sho is going to take. Oh my! Sho, you are not in a good spot. So Sho takes 11 points of damage. He has 19 points of health left. So as it fires, you see that the Easy 8 puts the shield up, and you see the bullets just bounce off most of the shield, but the remaining parts on the sides are completely exposed. And you see him shake. You see the screen from that shows his face. It shakes a little bit. Ah, damn. Okay, their aim is a little better than most raiders that I've encountered. Stargazer, what are you doing right now?
I'm going to use an action to engage my new rings.
Oh shit! So you how does the Stargazer engage the rings?
Alright. Are the rings out by default?
It's just like that, but
That's
it's
the frame, right?
It's just the metal frame, the halo leg frame. But the green rings, they're not out by default. Those are that picture is what happened essentially.
Ah, okay. So, the ring frame is going to very quickly segment and glow green all around until it reaches the center, and then several green rings erupt from it, like 1, 2, 3, and then after each one erupts, they rotate around the rest of my Gundam frame.
Okay, so it segments and it shines as the VS particles, as they are called, they begin to collect, and then they run along a certain orbit. And they are about as each ring is basically like a beam saber, as it's constantly spinning around. And
Okay, it works. It works.
it's like oh man, and you see that Sho is blocking gunfire, and he says that is cool.
I know it is, but pay attention.
Do you move anywhere?
I will. Let's see. I am going.
As a bonus action, you can command Rex.
Okay.
Because otherwise, Rex doesn't have any other action other than help, dodge, or disengage. Or dash.
I will have. But Roy can attack on his turn.
Oh, sorry. I was Rex, the mech.
The mech can help.
On his turn, yes. So but you can use a bonus action to have the Rex attack. It uses Rex's reaction.
I would like to try to. I want to use action economy to attack anyway. So move speed. 5.
It's not his turn yet, but you can just have him attack as a bonus action.
Oh, so I won't let him. But because he's not. Oh, he has a gun. Right. I will have him attack. As a bonus,
Roll an
my
attack.
bonus
It's plus
action.
7. Against this dude, the one
Yeah.
that's hiding.
No, against this one in the open.
Okay, sure. That's gonna hit. Roll for damage. 2d6 plus 5. Ouch.
This one. 9.
So 9 points of damage. So you see Royosaurus Rex just bends down its legs and then fires. It hits the side of the building. It erupts in concrete and glass. But you see that just that impact just basically grazes it heavily, and some of the debris breaks through its metal frame, dealing significant damage. Now it's Rex's turn. Is he doing anything?
He's gonna try.
He can only dodge, disengage, or help as an action.
Dodge, disengage, or help. I'll have him help me.
Okay. Attack with an attack or something, or
Help, dodge, disengage.
you can read up on the Battlesmith after the session.
Alright,
but,
this
yeah.
is because I'm going to attack after him. I get ideally
Yeah.
our turn order. Can I have him help me? I'm just not sure how.
He can move towards a target of your choice.
And harass them.
Yeah, and make the help action against that target for advantage.
Alright, I'll do that.
Okay, where does he move?
5. Actually, no, forget that. I won't. It's okay. I'll have him instead. Can he hide?
Let's say yes.
5, 10, 15. I'll have him hide here.
Okay, make a stealth check. What is Roy's stealth check?
Roy, stealth, and go first.
That was a 2.
Motherfucker, well, it's not gonna work. It's +1.
But that's at least cover. So Roy just hides behind the debris and just takes cover there. This
Dotris begins to move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, if you enter my field, when a creature hits me with a melee attack, it'll take 2d8, and it takes the same damage of the ender term within 50 feet of me.
the ends his turn. Yeah. Oh, by the way, sorry. As per my custom Gundam rules, everything scales up. So
Right.
it's not like 30 feet, it's 300 feet. It's times 10.
Got it. I figured it out.
And now it will
My D8
try against. It will try and hit you first with your AC of 15.
Okay. So only if it hits me.
Yeah, but the thing is, it take. So you see that as the debris fell on its one arm, it was actually the gun arm, and basically the hand is just swaying limp. It runs up to you, takes out a handle, and a beam saber comes out.
Oh no, my set!
Does he have? You have resistance to
Radiant
melee
damage.
right? So first, does he have disadvantage on melee attacks against you?
Range attacks against me are the disadvantage.
So that's a 4, that's a miss. Natural 19, that's a hit. You're gonna take resisted. You're gonna take 5, 3, 8, reduced to 4 points of radiant damage.
Might be like 1/6 minutes.
You are at 83% health, yes. So it slashes down upon you, just in between the oscillations of the rings. It cuts a little bit into the frame, into the Luna titanium frame of the Stargazer, but you manage to pull back just enough, and you see that with all the VS particles going around, it's basically just bouncing off for the most part. It doesn't really cut into the armor itself. Swing, and you feel a bit of a wobble, but not complete damage. He ends his turn there.
Okay, so he hit me, so
Oh,
he
yeah.
takes 2d8
Roll the
radiant. And then he gets another 2d8
Yeah.
because if it takes the same damage. Okay, so that's 7 and then 7 and 9, so that's 16 total.
6 in total. Oof. Okay, so as he cuts you, you see the rings oscillate, and it clips and cuts the arm off. And you hear as Sho is still being shot, salvage, and it begins to power down, and as it falls to one knee, it falls into the. You push the Stargazer forward and just cut it into ribbons, and it flies into pieces essentially.
Ooh! That's
That-
not even my turn yet.
It's not even your turn yet.
I love this idea.
One player, man. Perks of one player. And Sho says, salvage!
My rings are awesome!
I agree! and as he's being shot at, he's like,
I'm not gonna be outdone. 5, 10, 150, 200. As he's
Still being shot. He takes out his beam saber as he just tries and cuts into the Dauntress. Let's see.
I hope we can use these parts to make yours a little smoother.
What was it?
Maybe these, these uniform parts are gonna make the Easy 8 work a little smoother.
He will use the XBSAG03 beam saber.
Damn.
Attack plus 5 to hit. He's gonna use action surge. That's gonna be plus 3 to hit. Alright, Sho, you use your action surge, but should have been worth it. So he comes in, sword out, and just cuts into the Dauntress. You see that there's a massive gash over the cockpit, and you see the cockpit inside empty. And
Would be really creepy.
he pushes forward, engages the boosters, and shield bashes him in the face, and then just stabs his beam saber back into the chest. As the Dauntress falls, it says, "Clean cut, good salvage." And he's gonna move here 5, 10, or 1500. He's gonna end his movement there. He has cover. The Dauntress now. You see that he cuts down that one Dauntress. The remaining Dauntress begins firing at him. To attack against team.
Show is tanking.
Misses both of them actually. So he begins to run back with shield up, blocking the bullets as he goes behind the debris, and he says, a little help. Okay, this is too much for the Easy 8.
Okay. Don't make it easy.
I would have laughed, but I'm being shot.
My turn, right?
Yeah. Wait. Actually,
It's its turn. No, it's already shooting.
it's that Dauntress turn, which is dead. It's now the Stargazers. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do something really cool at fly speed, right? I'm gonna like 5
Are you
times
flying?
10.
Are you
Not
flying?
yet. 5, 10, 15, 20. Then I fly up like this way. 25. Then I'd like to just fall.
Okay.
I
The
so I
oscillations.
basically jump.
Yeah. And the oscillation of the rings are still there. What are you
Right.
doing for your turn?
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna use my beam saber.
Okay.
And then 1d8 radiant damage.
Okay, so I will allow this now, but technically as a battlesmith, you can only use your intelligence if it's a magical weapon. The beam saber is not technically a magical weapon. I call it innovation, but I will allow it now because you haven't read up on battlesmith just yet. So I allow it now. So attack with your intelligence.
Okay. So 1d8 plus 5.
Roll for your attack first.
Oh, right.
Ooh. Good try.
Why?
Bonus action, have Rex attack? Or?
Yeah, right.
He does have.
Then-
No, it's bonus action to have Rex attack. He
Oh,
can't
right.
use this.
He
He does have +2 cover, but yeah, I think he can reach. What's the range of the thingy?
Rex's gun is a 600-2400.
So 60. So yeah, that would have reached.
Okay, so he has +2 to cover.
Yeah. That is roll for damage. Roll 2d6 plus 5. Oof. Alrighty. How much was that?
3 plus 5, 8.
Okay, so it goes down again and then fires. You see these 2 shells that are arcing in the air. They're being superheated as it trails through the atmosphere and just slams into the back of the Dauntress, destroying the facade of the building. destroying the logo actually. Destroying the logo of the Saberhagen facility.
No.
But it falls on its back. And now it's Rex's turn.
Okay. 5, 15, 20, 25. No. He will just, yeah, he'll just 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, here, that way it's cleaner shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can make a dodge action.
And then I'll just make a dodge action.
Okay. So as he runs up there. It is now his turn. He's just gonna
Come around here. 50, 100.
clear shot, and then he takes out. He drops his beam saber. As he drops it, the laser evaporates and just drops in the ground. Takes out his machine gun and just fires. Hey, that's a hit.
Yeah! Do all the grandstanding show.
What is his machine gun? Oh, it's 1d8. Oh, not bad, not bad. It's only a +2, but not bad. So he comes around and begins to. It pelts the mobile suit with bullets, but it's still up.
And its turn. Oh, it's one
It is
of
now.
the
Its turn now. It will try and attack you.
Disadvantage? Oh no, that's melee. That's range.
It is melee.
So it's okay. It'll take damage when it hits me.
Okay, so this first attack hits you.
I'm resistant if it's
You are going to resist it. It's a D6.
less these rings.
You're gonna take 1d6, 5 reduced to 2. So Stargazer, you take only 2 points of damage. You're at 18 health.
I'm gonna need some of this crap.
Okay, but as it hits, the rings oscillate. Roll for damage. Wow, fuck. 11 points of damage. 11 points of rated damage. How do you want to do this?
Yeah. How did it attack? Using a.
It basically just took out its beam saber and just trying to slice at you. It did get through your defenses again through the oscillation of the rings, but again, because of all the particles in your vicinity, it's basically dissipating all the particles of the beam saber as it just slides over you.
Okay, when the beam saber slides over me and my particles kind of disperse it, I'm going to dodge the rest of the way out of its attack's trajectory, and then I'm just going to shoulder slam into it while my rings cut into it.
Okay, so as you shoulder slam into it, it's like a meat grinder as the parts are flying all over the place.
I hope they're clean cuts.
This is man. He looks around.
Tell me there's nothing else.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. And he says,
I always wanted to say this. Roy.
Roy can repair himself also, but he didn't really take any damage.
Right.
He said, Show begins to, says, so Show says, must have been automated defenses.
So that means something.
But mobile suits. We've never encountered mobile suits here. Automated ones at that.
You know what this tells me? I think this thing's important.
I guess so.
It's really creepy.
Well, let's check it out.
Okay. So we have to
He
disembark.
goes to the front of the building. There's a lot of debris in the building. Goes down to one and puts a hand in front of the cockpit as the cockpit opens up. Stop. There it is. And he exits out of the Easy 8. Whew.
I'm telling you, I think you're gonna want that to have a. Not even that, you know.
And he's
just-
like super sweaty. He's like, it's like a sauna in there. Whew.
maybe install a fan, ventilation system. Come on.
I mean, there's not enough space for a fan in there. It's pretty cramped. You've been there. Whatever. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like my bra's full of boobs, man. It's like, okay.
You get off the lasers dissipate.
I throw on my hanky.
Yeah, the lasers dissipate and
You should totally do this.
the rings fix up to its stable form again as you disembark. The Royosaurus goes back to the back of the Stargazer and becomes part of its backpack again, as this small mecha dog comes out and follows you.
I do a whistle to summon Roy.
Roy is following you. Bark. Bark.
You're a good boy.
You walk towards the building.
Right.
You look at the transponder. It seems like it's coming from the top floor of the central building.
I hope this thing still got stairs.
It does have stairs.
I'll have Roy illuminate the corridor ahead of us with his eyes. Like Roy can be between me and Sho just so that we can have a guide. We can have him as a path and guide.
Ah, wait, no, sorry. It wasn't the top floor. But there's something on the top floor. But the main energy usage is at the bottom. It seems like this goes down deeper.
How much deeper? But there's something. How do we know there's something on the top floor?
Basically, like something pipes up in the energy usage, and something small is using energy up top, but something big is using energy at the bottom. You wager, because mobile suits just came out, might be related to that.
I'll tell.
Show.
I have a. Okay. Let's just put it this way. Something smaller is upstairs. I think it'll be better if we check that out first before we trigger anything possibly dangerous downstairs. You know.
Yeah, sounds good. And you see that he has a machine gun tied to a sling, and he's wearing like a military helmet.
I have my dog.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go up.
You head up.
This is what a huge building is.
And it's a pretty large building. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Is there a teddy bear inside? Because that'd be fucking creepy. 9 plus investigation.
You are assisted by.
The show? 12. It's the same thing. 12.
12. Okay. You look through the transponder as you go towards one. There are many offices here, but one such office, it's eerie here because it's so dark
And quiet.
and all the dust is in the air, and there's just the entire place has been vacated properly. So you wager that it seems like there was an evacuation order. Like there is like loose paper or belongings, but you look around, check the drawers of each office.
Haphazard.
Yeah, and you open one up. You find a data pad, like an iPad, but completely transparent.
Oh.
And it contains there 3,500 credits. You transfer it to you.
Yes.
And you find another thing in the data pad. It's weapons data.
Can I just keep this? Yeah, I'm gonna keep this data pad. Fuck.
You find schematics for a modular beam rifle.
Wow. Someone was keeping this and that might know about it.
You would have some capacity to build this actually,
Shit.
because you're a battlesmith.
Right. Also, there's extra tech. We're gonna use it.
Yeah.
It works.
It's like, all right, good find. Plus all the salvage from outside.
Yeah.
I hope we can buy meat this time. Doesn't seem like there's anything up here.
Okay.
See down there?
But what was using the power?
That.
The data pad?
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
It was like plugged in still.
All these years.
Yeah, 25 years.
Whoever's powering it downstairs has been working for all this time.
And actually, the internal battery of it has been fried. So as soon as you unplug it, well, you can just unplug it back in your device.
Right.
Or your Gundam.
So tech. Okay, let's make our way back down. Oh, was there any identification as to who this data pad might have belonged to?
But you weren't able to check as soon as it beeped out.
Oh, maybe I can just check it back at home.
Yeah.
Mom's cell software. We'll do it later.
You go down, and you realize, Sho says, there aren't stairs going down.
There.
But
What
there
are
are.
we looking at?
He points to the side. Elevators.
That's scary.
That's scary. You want to risk it? You want to press a button, or you want to scale down? I mean, I can repel, but I don't know about you.
How hard can it be?
How's your arm strength?
I mean, I clip on. I've seen you do it. You put it on your belt thing and then you just jump off. You don't need to.
Maybe I make it look easy because of years of training.
But, you know, if I had to pull back up, Roy could just pull it back for me.
Roy doesn't have the arms for that, I think.
He has 4 of them. That should work.
You're supposed to be smart. I mean, I've only been doing this for most of my life, but I mean, if you know better, right?
Well, maybe if we were strong enough, then the 2 of us could go down at the same time and could carry or something.
Let's take the elevator.
Okay.
Let's risk it. You know, like adventurers, right?
I'm gonna leave Roy up here.
Steelcatcher.
I'm going to activate homebound protocol. If anything happens to me, it's gonna return to my dad with footage.
So you go.
Something I did, and something I made without my mom knowing.
You look at the buttons. You are at the ground floor, first floor, second floor where you went to. Second floor, third floor where you went a while ago. No bottom. This is open up the panel for me. Theme souls. Dexterity.
How hard did it do? Bust open a panel.
Gingerly enough. And you see now there are in fact wires, not buttons, but wiring that leads down to several floors below.
They are sketch.
Yeah. Which floor do you go to? There are like 2 floors below.
Let's just go to the bottommost one because it's easier to make our way up.
You rejigger the wires. Tink!
Homebound protocol, Roy!
Make a strength saving throw for me.
Oh god!
6. Okay. The elevator drops. It's like, I regret this decision immediately.
I'm gonna have to come show.
But eventually the emergency brakes hit.
Let's risk it, Ethan! I waited, Ethan!
Okay.
You're so skinny!
I regret that decision. He takes out his crowbar and opens up the elevator by force.
Did we at least go to the second floor or first floor?
You're like in between.
Go!
Go!
Okay.
Crawl. And you see that
As lightly and nimbly as I can.
he crawls after you. And then just eventually the elevator's like, ding! Show is like, motherfucker. And you see that this chamber there's a lot of power, a lot of energy or electrical tubings that lead off to 3 pods. These cradle-like devices with blue glass over them.
Some potente mad.
There are 3 pods. The rightmost is lit.
start slapping Zoid's side.
Oh, you mean show?
Oh, sure.
I see it too. This is some sci-fi shit, man.
We pilot mobile suits, show.
Yeah, but that's reality. This is some secret spy stuff.
You've never seen anything like this?
I've never seen anything
I
like
mean,
this.
you're the one in the military and everything.
This is not military. This is science. Sweet, delicious, magical science.
Did you just say delicious?
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm hungry.
Just shove him on a then I'll just go like.
Okay. You approach. As you approach, you look into the other two pods that are not there. Make a perception check for me. It's pretty dark, but there's some lighting still. But make a perception check.
Yeah, perception +4.
You look into the central one, the one right next to the active pod. And just from the reflection as it shines through the glass, skull and hair and some clothes.
Do I have a weapon?
You would have, I'll say, a handgun. It's in your inventory.
Okay,
actually.
okay. Oh, right, the beam pistol.
No, your inventory.
Oh, right,
That's for your Gundam.
Sorry. Okay.
Your inventory is this last page here, this one.
Got it. Alright. I'm just going to almost flip my gun. There are dead people here, show.
Oh, whew. At least they're dead. Whew. I mean, I'm a soldier. I've seen dead people.
This conversation's never come up. I'm beginning to realize that means.
At least they're not undead.
Hold
That's
up.
some sci-fi
Shh,
shit.
I'm thinking. These things have been off.
Except for this.
But these guys are dead because these things have been off. Then
You both look at the lid pod. Space zombies.
I shove him
Ow,
again.
okay, so maybe there's someone in there.
They could have been in here for 25 years.
25 years.
But they never even evacuated these guys. They left them here.
Yeah.
What are we gonna tell him? What if it her?
Something triggers at the back of your mind as you are just in this vicinity. You feel the presence of someone in here. Someone as if you're within speaking distance of this person. Like whoa, it's like it's you. Show. Someone's here.
After I shove him, I'm going to grab his sleeve at the same
Oh
moment.
my god! Make up your mind.
Someone's here.
Yeah. He points at the lid pod.
I don't mean that one, show.
What else could it be?
I will look from the corner of my eye to where the presence is.
Make a perception check. Not 20. Okay. You look at the corner of your eye and just slowly as you can, and you could swear you saw a pink dress. But as you look, it's gone. But the presence is still there. See, there's no one there. Don't be silly. Let's just open up this pod. Could be just some scientist, maybe, more mouths to feed, but I'm sure the church would like this.
Doesn't make any sense why they'd ice a scientist. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Ice makes things like preserved, right?
I don't know.
Is there any terminal next to this thing?
Yeah, there is a small terminal there. You can go ahead and
I'll try to
it currently is
open
just
it.
there are currently some statistics there. Vitals, age, 14. Birth was like pre-war universal century several years ago. Before pre-war, there's pre-war stuff, and and then it says there vitals normal, but power failing, and then pod overclocking. Basically, he's taking in all whatever it can to just keep
Really
this thing
emotional.
alive. Yeah.
I think looks like we just came in the nick of time. There anything other than vitals? Like a name?
Yeah, you do find a name there. It says there Tifa Adil, and it says there emphatic new type.
It's getting weirder, show. It's
What?
getting weirder. You remember those new types?
Yep.
What the fuck?
You know, we've never actually looked in. I don't know what's stopping us. He goes to the pod and he wipes. It actually fogged up a little bit with some. It's cold.
Huh.
He wipes it with his glove and says, the impact was 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Take a look at this girl. You see this brown-haired girl in a familiar pink dress with flat bangs and hair that cradles her very roundish face. Very young, very, very young features.
It says 14, but and this is the only one that's lit.
Yeah, I mean the other door just.
Dead.
Yeah.
But okay. This is the thing. I'm not opening it because I'm a little scared that if we do, what if she just fails, just stops?
He looks at the terminal and says, "Oh, either that or she dies anyway. I mean, it's running out of power." What? Or, look, if you're worried about this girl dying, we could just mercy kill her.
It disturbs me how easily you say this, and I've heard. Oh, okay.
War is hell. That's, I mean,
Okay, I know. All right. I just don't want to do anything accidentally, so I'll try to carefully open the thing.
make a technology check. Yay, technology.
Motherfucker. At least it's an 11, so
Okay.
double digit.
It doesn't seem to have a lot of protections on it. Basically, we're just trying to look for the options to unlock it because
Right.
there's like so many health tracking devices that are constantly like brain waves and breathing, heartbeat, and etc. and etc. and etc. and etc. etc. And then you find unlock pod. Took you a while, but it seems like nobody will seem expecting anyone to just come here.
It's even weirder than so on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
The light begins to dim, and you see several of the tubes. It's cold. It is shivering cold because there's a lot of exposed skin on you, and it immediately flash freezes your skin a little bit, and even shows like, whoa, frick, that is cold. And at the very sides, the floor here is metal with those metal grates with slits inside,
Yeah.
where if you drop a coin, it'll likely fall into
Yeah,
those.
vent.
Yeah, vented. Water seeps out from the underside of the cradle.
Oh, cooling system.
Clear blue and cold water, and you see the fog of just the sudden chill here covers the entire space, and it's very, very cold here. And
Oh my god, my tits are frozen.
the little pod opens. And the girl takes a breath. And that's where we'll end this session.
Oh my god. This is Kamen Rider, what the fuck?
Man.
I'm glad we made it to there.
Man. So
Fuck.
you
Not what I expected this to go.
you see a 14-year-old girl who's been stuck since pre-war taking her first breath since whenever this may have been. And maybe perhaps a confirmed new type.
What did it say again? What kind of
Emphatic new type.
Emphatic new type, okay.
And yet, you sense a particular familiarity with her. Just as her eyes slowly twitch as if she's beginning to open. And we will catch this in the next episode of Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, Fleeting Liberty. Thank you for playing.
Yeah! First session!
Man! That was cool!